Emotional addiction is a true part of all of our lives. How do we know if we have developed an addiction to the chemical peptides of our own emotion? Simple. We all have at least some form of addiction to the chemicals of our emotion. Let's begin by defining exactly what we mean by emotional addiction. Firstly, what is emotion? Emotion is the name for all of the feelings produced by our nervous system. These feelings are created by surges of chemicals into our bloodstream. These chemicals, known as peptides, are produced by the hypothalamus in our brains. The purpose of this system of chemicals that create our emotions is to support our communication with others. How is the hypothalamic release of natural peptides controlled? The process takes place on a microscopic level, but is straightforward to understand. The cells of the nervous system become stimulated by energy, life energy dynamics. The stimulation instructs the cells of the nervous system to request the hypothalamic release of certain chemical peptides into the bloodstream. The peptides travel through the bloodstream and then dock with the cells of the nervous system. The docking procedure initiates a chemical reaction and results in a temporary chemical change in the cells. As the cells change state according to the chemical's instructions, we feel feelings. The energy dynamics that first instruct the nervous system cells about which peptides to request for hypothalamic release into the bloodstream are life energy. Life energy is the energy of our heartbeat after we've refined it into the energy dynamics of our thoughts and attitudes to create our mind, our immediate consciousness. The life energy we use to create our consciousness has different amplitudes and frequencies. Each possible attitude we can make refines our life energy to energy of a different amplitude and frequency. All of the attitudes that we use socially as we communicate with others refine the energy of our heartbeat to one certain amplitude range between 500 and 600 nanometers. This amplitude range of energy is used primarily for our social communication because it is around the same height as the cells of our nervous system. This means the cells of the nervous system can easily sense and measure the incoming energy dynamics of communication from others and accurately instruct the hypothalamus about which chemicals to release in order to create the feelings which best support our understanding of the communication. The name of the channel of life energy, which contains all of the energy waves that have the same heights as the cells in the nervous system, is the emotional channel of life energy. The emotional channel of life energy is one of 4 channels of energy that we can refine using the attitudes of our immediate consciousness. The others are the physical channel, the intellectual channel, and the intuitional channel. The nervous system is naturally designed to react to the incoming life energy dynamics which accompany communication from others. Receiving and interpreting social communication truthfully is the natural purpose of the nervous system. The problems that come with emotional addiction occur because we have begun allowing the nervous system to also react to energy that did not come from another, but instead came from ourselves. What is chemical addiction? We easily understand how we can become addicted to foreign chemicals, drugs, but the cells of our nervous system can also become just as easily addicted to our own self-made chemicals of emotion. The process is quite simple. The natural cells of our nervous system change state in order to manifest the feelings we feel. When a chemical, any chemical, docks with a the cell changes form to accommodate the chemical's attachment and initiate its chemical reaction. If we have a certain chemical from the bloodstream dock with a cell often enough, the cell itself will permanently change form to accommodate the continuous attachment of the chemical in question. By doing this, the cell is inviting the chemical to dock with it permanently. The problem is, the chemical often dissipates after the initial chemical reaction and so will fade away, leaving an empty dock, a hole in the original cell. When a nervous system cell has an empty dock in its form, it's unable to perform its natural duties in the body easily. The cells of our nervous system have a relatively short lifespan, perhaps only a few weeks. This is fortunate because nervous system cells that have been permanently altered break down and are replaced with new cells regularly. The regeneration process in the cells of our nervous system continues constantly. When a new cell is formed by the regeneration process, it takes on the form appropriate for the chemicals present in the bloodstream at the time. If, during the time of the cell's formation, there are high levels of certain chemicals consistently present in the bloodstream, the cell will form with an appropriate dock for the chemical. The cell will then always require the presence of the certain chemical in order to maintain form and function properly. At this point, when our natural cell regeneration process is influenced and new cells are being formed that require a certain chemical in order to function correctly, we are addicted to that particular chemical. So we understand that emotion is a natural process of our physical body, and we understand the way the cells of our nervous system can become addicted to any chemical. Now then, from this biological perspective, what is emotional addiction? Emotional addiction occurs whenever we allow the cells of our nervous system to regenerate and form new cells which require certain chemicals in order to function correctly. That is, the new cells form with specifically shaped docks or holes attached. In order to release the chemicals required to fill the docks in our cells, we need to project an energy dynamic across the cells of the nervous system, which is the correct amplitude and frequency needed to initiate the appropriate hypothalamic chemical release into the bloodstream that will seal the dock and complete the cell's form. The chemical peptide will of course also initiate a chemical reaction in the cell and cause it to take on the state that supports the related feeling, until such time as the chemical dissipates and the effect wears off. Once the chemical peptide dissolves, the nervous system cell will once again have an empty dock, a hole in its form, that will cause it not to work correctly until the dock is once again sealed. We understand this feeling of our nervous system cells being unable to function correctly due to unsealed docks, holes in the form of the cells, most often as withdrawal effects, a particularly unpleasant state.